All right, you guys. I want to talk about something really quickly. Uh, and I want to talk about how to know you're in sacrificial type of energy, which a lot of so-called black women are. Now, people in general, okay, let's just think about individuals because they can be like so-called white. And I'm going to say so-called because that's white, black, and all that. It's not who we are. It's not, it doesn't, our souls don't have colors. Our spirits don't have colors. But I'm just in this particular system. People, certain groups of people are described and identified by race. So so-called white people, right? So-called whoever, Asians, you have individuals who are in sacrificial energy, and you have a group of people who are in sacrificial energy, which are, black women, because there's a hierarchy. And in order for black women to be at the bottom, that means everybody is kind of feeding off of black women's energy, number one. But and that makes her a sacrifice, and it's going to be hard for as a group to rise up until they start to get back into self-preservation and take their energy back and rise up, because people are feeding off of that energy. But now, as an individual, though, to tell when you're in the sacrifice as well. I was just thinking about this. Think about family. If it seems like you can never do anything right, and you might have other siblings, or you might know somebody else who seems to appears to do far worse than whatever they're criticizing you for doing. It could be that you wash some dishes and you forgot a bowl or something, right? And so now they cursing you out from here to Timbuktu because you washed all these dishes and you forgot a bowl, so you deserve to get cursed the heck out, right? But then you can have somebody else that might have totaled the car and totaled another car and totaled a car every year and lost all their money at the casino. And it just seems like they get all this forgiveness. Okay? That when that happens, you kind of in sacrificial energy. You are like, what is it called? Pin the tail on the donkey or something. You're like the scapegoat. You're the person that everybody uses as a sponge to you're the one that everybody uses as this. You're the sponge that everybody uses to put all of their negative energy on and all of their baggage on. Okay? And so I just want to say that, coming from experience, and that it just, when it seems like you can just never do right. And sometimes when you are the person and you haven't realized this yet, but you have been the person who have been the sponge for everybody to pick on, sometimes it seems like you can't get things done. Sometimes it seems like you can't get things complete. But that's because you are depleted of energy. You have too many people who are taking your energy from you. So now you can't do anything for yourself. You can't complete your goals. You can't stay focused on what you really want out of life, because your energy is constantly being taken. And even if you stop talking to the people, depending on what kind of stuff they into, they still messing with your energy. Depending on what kind of stuff they into. Some people, I said this before, some people are into spiritual practices, but I was going to say for some reason, but I understand why. Black people have been very religious for a long time, and it's hard to believe that they can really be evil enough to do spiritual work to constantly take your energy, especially mothers. Because certain generations of black women were notorious for being very religious. It's so hard to believe that they can do things to purposely take your energy. But yeah, I know from experience they can't get down like that and be up in the church. But so yeah, that could be another thing. Once you decide to cut them off, now if they not into nothing, they just say things to hurt you, but they not into that kind of stuff. it's so it is you can walk away from them, you know, and eventually get your life back, right? But if they into some stuff, it's going to be harder, because especially if you lived in a house with them, they had access to your DNA. Okay. And like I say, sometimes it flies over people's heads, but it's not because people don't understand it. It's because Black people are notorious for being religious, so it's hard to believe they would get into some stuff like that, but they definitely do, and I've seen it. Most of these people up in the church are also in cults. Okay, they're also in cults. I am from Tuskegee, Alabama, and majority of the people that, especially of a certain generation like that, baby boomer, see, I almost said what it was, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Generation X, a lot of them were Freemasons. Most people in Tuskegee, majority of the people are Freemasons, especially in that baby boomer generation, Generation X, and a lot of them, you wouldn't think, but a lot of them are Freemasons, and women are Eastern Stars, a whole lot of them. And Tuskegee, Alabama is pretty much a predominantly 99% Black town, a Black city. And so it's hard to believe that, especially in the baby boomer generation, that they get down like that, but they most certainly do. And I've seen it, and I've seen it, and I've seen it. And they have one person could be a child that they chose as the sacrifice, because they get into different rituals. I learned this the hard way, because I've never been initiated into anything, but I learned the hard way, because I figured out what my family was involved in. But yeah, I say that to say that how to realize, how to know that you are in sacrificial energy. And see, sometimes if that's not nipped in the bud, and you don't take your power back from your family that has that used you as a sponge, if you have not taken your power back from them, it spills over into other aspects of your life, like work, like maybe a spouse, a boyfriend, girlfriend, friends. It spills over into other aspects of your life. You could be going out to a restaurant. You could be going to the store. And all of a sudden, somebody want to have an attitude with you, like, what the heck? And you might want to defend yourself. And it's like they mad at you because you defended yourself. Like, what the hell, right? Because some people, they can defend themselves and then they get apologies right away, right? I've seen that before, where a person can defend themselves, curse a person out for crossing them, and they get apologies and all kind of respect. But let you do it. You're wrong for daring to open up your mouth and even defend yourself. You are wrong for that. Why? Because you're still in that sacrificial energy, and it's spilling over into other aspects of life. So they can stomp you in the face, and they can stomp you till you almost through that ground. But if you dare say, that hurts, please stop, you're wrong for that, because you're still in sacrificial energy. The world will see that as wrong for you to speak up for yourself. And I won't say the world, because everybody ain't evil like that. See, even when you in sacrificial energy, you have some people who are still decent that don't even have that kind of personality to tear you down. So even being in sacrificial energy, you still meet people who aren't nasty like that, because it's just not in their it's just not in them. They're not programmed that way in the first place. So everybody you meet might not be like that, but the truth is, when you're in that energy, you're definitely going to run across a lot of people who are bullyish, have a bullyish type of personality. Okay. Now, this is short. I don't really make long videos, because I just express myself. I just really express myself. I don't have professional channels. I don't want one. I don't want to put in that kind of work. And the reason why I don't want to put in that kind of work is because I am pretty spiritual. And when I say spiritual, I mean spiritual in the way of I'm trying to get my mind off of this world as much as possible. And it's enough that I have to work. That's enough. And so I don't make stuff into professional pages and put in that elbow grease, because I don't want to be I don't want my attention on this world. I'm detaching little by little. I'm detaching from this world, and so to put my attention on top of working, okay, and paying bills, I have to put my attention on maintaining a page and maintaining an audience and catering to an audience, and I don't want to do that because I don't want my attention that much in this world. This world is passing away, and I don't want my attention in it. And I've seen the bat signal so many times. Better get your attention off this world. You better transition as much as possible, as much as you can, because that corona and all this other stuff that's going on is taking. I think it's going to take out a lot of people who are still heavily attached to believing this world is actually real. Okay, to believe in this world is actually, because it's not. It's an illusion. And so I'm detaching from the illusion, which is my mind. It's really not my mind. It's really not. We think it is, but I talk about other things on my other page called Journey into Highest Potential, and I discuss those kind of things over there. I don't want to get into that over here. But yeah, that's all. That if you just happen to notice that, if you feel like that is you, and you feel like it's other people that have that could appear to have more flaws than you, because I don't like to compare, right? But you get cursed out for doing something that seems to be pretty small, and they can lose all their money in the casino and sleep on the ground and lose a truck and lose a house, and they have all this forgiveness, right? But you do something small, like I said earlier, you wash dishes and you forget a bowl or something, and just all hell just break loose, and you the worst person in the world, and everybody just want to hop on you. And if you dare open your mouth to defend yourself, you don't want to listen, and you can't take criticism. You supposed to just sit back and let them stomp on you nonstop. And if you ever speak up for yourself, you're the one that's wrong, and you should just shut up and listen. You're a sponge for everybody to put their negative energy and all their baggage on. You're in the sacrifice seat. You're in sacrificial energy. Black women were blamed for everything that went wrong in the Black community because Black women are sacrifices. They're in sacrificial energy. Black women, and a lot of them are not going to raise up and say, look, some of them are, but it takes two to make a baby. I'm sorry. Okay? So, and it's not just that. It's just that everything else that you see that's going on, even in media, that's not coming, that's coming from other people too. Black women are the punching bags. And it takes you to stand up and say, we're no longer going to be your punching bag, and then you'll see a rise. But a lot of Black women are not going to do that because maybe they're just meant to be a sacrifice and die. Well, everybody going to die according to what you believe death is. According to whatever you believe death is, if you thinking death is that physical death from your body, yeah. But yeah, that is it. That's all I gotta say. But yeah. When that happens, it's kind of hard to get out that sacrifice seat. It's almost like it's a lot of energy work that might need to be done. Could be a lot of meditations, a lot of things kind of need to be done if you've been in that sacrifice seat since you were a baby, since you were a little girl, and you might be in your 30s and 40s and 50s, and you still see this. It's going to take a lot of work because it's been decades that you might have been in that sacrifice, and so it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take some work to get out of it. Okay, but for the most part, though, I believe it's a lot of reprogramming has a lot to do with it. A lot of reprogramming, though. Okay. Yeah, a lot of energy work is good and all that stuff. But, for the most part, thoughts pretty much create reality. And so reprogramming your thoughts can pretty much do a good job, as well as taking you out that sacrifice seat, because reprogramming your thoughts to know that you are worthy, to know that you are first, to have more self-preservation, or whatever it is that you really want to think about yourself, you're going to change up you're going to change up your reality. Okay. So, yeah, that's all I got to say, and that's it. Okay.